are so funny. You're trying to get me to do this stupid shit. And
she just whispered, "I'm a bad bitch," for anyone who didn't hear. Stop. 420.
I'm lit at Disney.
And the kids asleep in the bath.
There we go.
A ball sack station. That's what a business owner looks like. I'm tired. Hi, everybody.
Wow, that was really hard. Oh my God. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tattoo Homewreckers, a podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. My name is Lou, and I am here with my very best friend, Callista.
Hello.
The Callie to my Lou. Guinness is not going to let me not let her outside.
Oh my God, I know, right? Hi, everybody. Before we get into what our genders feel like today, I just needed to give a little warning. I am starting the episode very sleepy. I don't think I'm the only one. It's crazy because my brain and my body are still in full, like, it's supposed to be winter time. Mm-hmm. So my body is just, like, so tired, but my brain is still like, no, we've got stuff to do. And it feels good doing that stuff, but my body's still just like, okay, yeah, whatever. I'm exhausted. And I'm like, Diva, please. I need you to do something. You 100%. Need to figure it out. So, yeah, I'm starting off the podcast with low energy. But yes. Lou, what does your gender feel like?
My gender feels like I need to let this dog back in. No.
Guinness is ultimately trolling us from the start.
Walked away again. Mm-hmm.
It's a very rainy day in New Zealand.
It is. It's a very rainy day, and it's very like chilly outside. There's like a cold front that's come in, so it does feel like winter.
It does, yes, absolutely.
So I definitely am feeling like sluggish and tired. Mm-hmm. Okay, now
yes, exactly. So Guinness has been trolling us. She keeps trying to go outside and then wants to come back inside. She's finally inside again because she also does not like the cold front and doesn't want to get her paws wet. So she doesn't feel like peeing. She's just stubborn.
Yeah, she doesn't want to go out in the grass or be in the rain, which I can't blame her. I don't want to like pee outside in like the rain or on wet grass.
It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold today.
What does your gender feel like?
My gender doesn't feel like letting the dog in. No. My gender feels like a cup of coffee that went too cold. All of a sudden, I'm still, the cold theme is a big one apparently. Where it's just like suspiciously like, I put this down for 5 seconds, how are you still cold? Or how did you get cold?
How are you still cold? You should have warmed up. I put you down.
Yeah, I put you down, so you should have been warmer than I originally made you. No. I just feel like a cold cup of coffee.
You're drinking coffee right now, right?
I am, and it's warm.
I am too. Yeah. We you're gonna watch us drink a lot during this episode because we are consuming quite a bit of like coffee because it's chilly, and don't get me wrong, it's nice because we've had some like really hot days, so it is nice to have like some chilly days. But when we are like trying our best to like be in a place of achieving, it is hard to then have the body be like, nope, it is that time of the month. Yeah. Also, the flies here drive me nuts.
Dude, it's fucking Animal Crossing. Like, there's so many bugs here. So many bugs.
You screamed the other day.
Yeah, because I found a fucking praying mantis on the ground, and he passed away. But he was large. So I was like, how, were you living in our house? Like, why did you come to the kitchen to pass away? What's the deal with that?
I mean, I'm not sure he was living in the house. He probably just like flew into the house.
Probably.
And then made it to the kitchen and just died.
Yeah.
He was big. He was a solid like 2.5 inches. Someone's at the door.
Give us 2 seconds.
What is happening?
Guys.
What is going on in our house?
This is kind of cursed.
Keep talking about Callie.
Okay, I'm going to keep talking to you guys. This episode feels weird. I don't like it when people come to our doors. I don't know what it is. Lou's answering it. So we're about to see what happens. Maybe it's a package. Is it a person? I don't think it's a person. Oh, I think it's a package. Okay, yeah. So Lou just brought a package in from the rain. And again, this is the second time that the door is knocked. Normally they just kind of leave the package, I think, but
crazy.
Wild.
Yeah. Well, the door knocking earlier wasn't a package.
No, it wasn't. It was a person.
That was a crime survey that you have to do in person. We received it in the mail, and we were like, ooh, I can do this, like when I have some spare time. We got it probably 2 or 3 days ago, and then there was a gentleman knocking at our door while we were watching like a true crime podcast, and he's like, I'm here to do the crime survey. And I'm like, I will gladly do surveys because in case you're the type of person that's like, hey, I don't really ever do surveys. Surveys matter. They matter for private businesses. They matter for statistics. They matter for governments. They matter.
Yeah.
Surveys do help people.
There's only so much like the government or like businesses can do because they only have so many eyes everywhere. So if you participate in the survey, you're actually helping them like be able to see that like, oh, if there's crime going on, they would want to know, you know? But that was a whole ass person. And yes, we've been addicted to crime docuseries lately. It's been very fun, but something about January, man. Sleepy.
Yeah, because it's still supposed to be wintertime. Our dogs, like I've said before, have their winter coats on. I have my winter coat on. I am meant to be sleeping right now.
Got my winter brain on.
Yeah, I'm meant to be hibernating.
Totally.
But that being said, we are starting the third week of January.
Yes.
And so we wanted to talk to everyone about your Misogis, which we have not discussed that on here before.
No.
It's a relatively new term to us as well. Brought to us by social media, of course.
Absolutely. I'm going to bring up the actual definition.
Perfect.
For it. You can go ahead.
So we wanted to talk about like, it's around about that third week. Now is when, if you were like, hey, it's a new year, new me, it's when it starts to fall off. It's when you start to like let those old habits come in. You kind of drop the new stuff you wanted when you were like, I'm going to completely reinvent myself. Or it's where you're starting to find it kind of hard to be like, how do I keep these things? Like the excitement of the initial momentum has worn off. And now I'm in that like, okay, this is working, this isn't working. And sometimes unless you have like some accountability, it can be really hard to keep that going. So if you said, I'm going to start a new diet where I'm not going to eat out as much, then around this third week, because technically according to science, 19 days is when we fall off of habits.
Yeah.
It can be a really hard thing to like pick back up. So we wanted to kind of explain like where we are with all of our new goals and also where like what we found worked for us and then what's not working, and just kind of like give you guys like a real life glimpse into like what's going on with us for the new year.
Totally.
Besides being tired.
Absolutely. Did you want to start with Misogi? Should we talk about our like habits that we've been trying to cultivate?
I think we start with Misogi so people understand what that is.
Fabulous.
Because our habits are geared towards achieving that.
Misogi.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, Misogi, the actual definition means water cleansing. It's an ancient Japanese practice involving purifying the mind, body, and spirit through physical and mental challenges. There's something called a Misogi challenge. This isn't exactly 100% the real that like we saw on the internet, but the Shinto ritual Misogi is translated into Western culture as an annual challenge, a tool for self-discovery. So once a year, do something so difficult there's a 50-50 chance you might fail at it. While the challenge only lasts a day, its impact reshapes everything you do after. So emotionally, I think the reel that we saw was plan out a Misogi, and that was an event in your life that like you were afraid of it initially. Like you're afraid of starting. So it could either work or fail, essentially.
And yeah, it's an event for the year. So it's like when you look back at the year, you're very excited that you're like, oh my God, I made that happen.
Yeah.
Like this is like the thing that like, you know, whether like the example that they gave was like writing a book or at least, you know, working on writing a book, but like running a marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
running a marathon, doing an art show, things that like require some emotional vulnerability to do, but also something that you'll, like you said perfectly, look back on the year and be like, yeah, 2026 was the year I did this.
Yes.
Like that's exciting. So my Misogi of 2026 was actually to rejoin a CrossFit gym. And I had said that I'd wanted to join in July, and then I ended up joining on your birthday. So
yeah, it was great.
I like kind of sped ordered the Misogi, mostly because I was like, well, what's the point in waiting? Like I could either prove to myself that I am financially responsible and can budget for this, or I just force myself to be financially responsible and budget for this. Yes. And I honestly think that's the best way to do it. I think that like there was a reel I saw earlier, just to do a really quick like 180 on this topic.
I love this.
Which is like starting something Like, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting to feel confident?
Mm-hmm.
But confidence is gained after the experience of doing the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't short circuit that. So if that's what you're waiting for, is to feel confident before you do this, that's not going to happen. So you might as well just do it unconfident. Like, and I was like, wow, that's
just
so smart.
do it scared.
Do it scared. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that makes way more sense to me. So yeah, that was my Misogi. I took my 4th class today, and I'm feeling good. I feel really excited that I'm back at CrossFit with a better mentality and a kinder like self-talk with myself, as well as more knowledge on nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just feel like I'm a lot more patient with myself. I am taking it seriously to the point where like I do feel challenged, but not to the point where I am like berating myself after class, which is not what you want. That's like negative reinforcement.
Yeah.
Like at that point, like no wonder like I didn't want to go back to CrossFit because I was just so mean to myself.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm like, oh yay, like I'm feeling better, more patient, and I'm actually like more present. So that was my Misogi.
I think a great kind of takeaway for that I think that like a lot of people miss there is like, oh wow, like that's awesome that you went back. But I think for me, the larger takeaway is like, you can redo stuff. Like you can start doing stuff all over again at any point. Because like to kind of go along with that theme, like Caboose just started doing like astrophotography, and he realized that when he was looking at his like the last post that he did on Reddit about it, it was 6 years ago was the last time he had done astrophotography.
Totally.
And I think like really sitting in that fact of like, hey, you can like restart these things whenever the fuck you want, because the nice part about restarting them is that your brain doesn't know the difference. Like once you again do it scared, once you do that first step, his brain is just back into a place of like, hey, I do astrophotography again. You do CrossFit. Like that's it. Like you're a CrossFitter. So like, and you're the type of person that works out and it's consistent in the gym, and then that can spiral into like, or snowball into other areas of your life that can be positive habits.
Yeah.
But 100%. I think that a lot of people are like, wow, I wish I could do that. And like, honestly, you can.
Just do it.
You just do it. Like you figure it out. You just say, okay, I'm just going to do the thing. I'm just going to sign up for it. And then you figure it out. So I cannot on the podcast say what my Misogi is. I know that's kind of not fair. But come mid-year, I'm looking at the calendar. That's why my eyes are looking off screen if you're watching me on YouTube.
Yep.
I will be able to say what my Misogi is, but I have to wait until a little bit later this year to be able to be like, hey, you guys, I achieved that. But there's a ton of work going into it and a ton of like new skills having to be learned. And that's what I kind of liked about a Misogi, was that it was something that wasn't guaranteed. Again, like that said, where it was like, there's a 50-50 chance you're not going to be able to do it.
Totally. I really enjoyed that take on it, where it's like, that's the point though.
Yeah.
But like everything you do afterwards is impacted by that.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah. And again, like that's the thing with CrossFit is like you coming back to the gym, everything else after that, even though it's only been like about a week, has been impacted. Like we've been talking a lot more about like refining our nutrition, because since we got here, which is almost a year now, that's been something that we've been like slowly working on. And of course there was like big adjustments and like learning the grocery store and learning the foods and being really upset that they don't have protein options here like they do in the States.
Now that all those barrier of entries have been crossed, now we're able to actually find out like patterns and procedures that work best for us, systems that will work best for us. Because I think when we first initially came, there were so many hurdles of like, oh God, we have to like, I spent so much time at the grocery store just comparing, because you don't know. Like, I feel like when you're in the States or you're in your home country and you've been there for so long, you know what the healthier option is because you've already done that time comparing.
Yes. You've just spent years doing it instead of...
just like accumulating all this knowledge on like, what would be the healthier option, but still what's tasty, what's your favorite, what are some things you're willing to sacrifice on. Like if this pasta sauce isn't good in numbers, but it's the most delicious, okay, that's for date night. Or like that's for like a once in a while, you know? And then this pasta sauce is ideally best for like tracking macros, whatever. But yeah, you had to start all over here.
Yep. All of that knowledge is no longer valuable here.
Totally.
All of the information about, I was the go-to person that if I was like, yo, you want like high proteins, you want high protein snacks, you want high protein chips, you want high protein like chocolate, candy bars, whatever it is you want. Yeah. I've got all of
whatever it is you're seeking. I know.
Yeah, you want high protein popcorn. I can tell you all of those brands. I can tell, like, at that point, I'm sure it would be a little bit rough, but like you could show me to be like, oh, I'm thinking these Quest chips, and I'm like, it's this much fat, this much carbs, this much protein. I don't recommend having more than 2 packs a day. Otherwise, the sodium level on it's a bit high, so you'll get a bit bloated. This is the best protein. Shout out Intech. Please ship to New Zealand. But for anyone who's in the States who's like, Intech, what is that? And you haven't heard me talk about it before, INTEK. You can pretty much only buy it online unless you're at some like random stores in Florida. Like some small nutrition stores have it, but otherwise, like, it's 100% worth it. Yeah. It's so good. It dissolves in water. You do not need a shaker ball. It's amazing. That's my side little advertisement.
Great protein. I missed Built Puff protein bars because they were literally like candy, like any kind of sweet treat fix that I needed. If I just grabbed a Built Puff coconut bar,
you did just find a recipe for that same, because they weren't
looking for one.
Yeah, they did not. They're not my favorite. The like marshmallowy, not my favorite. But yeah, so like that's the thing is now we're at a place where again you're like we've gotten across, like you said, those various entries far enough that now we can start like honing like what actual we need systems. To hone to be able to like better perform.
Yes.
And the Misogi and putting in new systems for the new year helps us work on that. And specifically the Misogi, because again, now you're back to tracking your macros and like we're meal prepping and talking about like how within our household, what that looks like. And let me be real clear. If you live with other people and you're like, hey, I'm trying to make these big changes, that doesn't happen in isolation. That doesn't happen by yourself. That happens through like communication with them. So like we all have to go through the fridge and reevaluate how we are currently doing it, which is how we've done it for the last 5 years that we've lived together. We now have to go, okay, this system isn't working because we do not have a beautiful giant American fridge. We have a fridge that is a hop skip above the size of a like a college dorm room beer fridge. Yeah, like it is tiny.
Their appliances here are so small.
Yeah.
I don't know how, like, honestly, Kiwi bodybuilders, y'all shout out. Like, you guys have to work so much harder to get your protein in.
And we technically have 2 fridges.
And we still have 2 fridges, and it's still, like, not the same amount of space as we did when we had the 1 fridge in Reno. But I'm really grateful because, we've built, like, a tiny community in our house where, like, we are operating again as, like, a team, attacking these problems as a team. And it is, like, you brought it up, that it's really rare that we have, like, that people live together and they all want to be nutritionally, like, inclined and all want to meal prep and all want to, like, you know, live a better, healthier lifestyle. So, like, if we could just, like, find systems where, like, it's easier for all of us to help each other out in that way, then that's the way to do it. And that kind of ties nicely into like how we've been helping each other out with our habits in the new year. Because again, we're 3 weeks in.
Yep.
3 weeks in. And it's really easy to lose the dopamine that you first got when you're like, oh, I'm a healthy person. Yay. Yeah. How do we keep the dopamine up? How do we keep enjoying these things? How do we keep like being inspired? Because I see this all the time, like motivation isn't what builds like a healthier body, because like you're not going to be motivated all day. Expecting that is like so unrealistic, and it's not your fault that you're not motivated every day. That's just normal.
Yeah, well, like, that is just the human body.
Yeah, as we're already perceived at a level in which we were never meant to be perceived. So just the mental load that takes on top of like the politics of today. No one needs to be reminded that the world's on fire, but here you go. The world's on fire. It's okay to not be motivated. So how do we make things easier? And I think that finding a community makes it so much easier.
And a community doesn't have to be a large group of people.
No, like, it could be literally 2 people.
Yeah, it's the 3 of us in this household, but like there were periods where like Caboose and I had the same goals and we're working something. You and I have the same goals and we're working towards stuff. Like you just need someone else to like help be accountable to in the times where being accountable to yourself does not feel like it's enough. Like that really does help to come in and be like, hey, this is what I'm working on. And also just for the problem solving aspect, because like when Caboose and I talked about nutrition this morning, And then that led into all of these like barrier, like a discussion around all the barriers for eating like in a more optimal way. And then because like my brain goes into like problem solving mode the moment someone presents like barriers, I was then able to be like, okay, this is all the stuff that I know that could work. So like, let's all take our ideas of what would work and then like put that all in together and then just start testing it out. So we test it out for a week and then we check in, and it's a 10 to 15 minute check-in as like roommates and as a family, and say, hey, what's working? Like, did this work? Did that not work? And even you and I just having that conversation today helped us be like, okay, so there's a lot of like residual childhood trauma around like food and like fridges and other people's food that has kind of compounded this problem where none of us are able to like make it easier for ourselves or optimize the systems.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that like at the end of the day, if you like, we've said this on the podcast before, but if you want to find success, you have to be really specific about like what it is that you're doing. So you can't just say like, I want to eat healthier. You have to like actually fine tune like, okay, what does that mean though? Because everyone's like, and I'm not going to like say that you have to like go all out and do like a 75 hard and then like fucking, you know, go balls to the wall crazy with it. Sometimes eating healthier just means that you start with, I'm going to eat one vegetable a day.
Yeah.
That's fine. How do I make that system of eating one vegetable a day easier? Is it easier if that veggie is like hidden all the way at the back of the fridge? Or is it easier if like there's a section for me where it says, okay, that's my produce and that's the vegetables I can eat, and it's at the very front, easy? Or is it easier for me if I pre-cut everything and then I can eat it? Like, be specific. And once you find that community, then everyone else around you kind of also holds you to that accountability of like, okay, everyone else is also trying to be healthy. Like, it's not a like pressure thing for me. If anything, it's an inspiration thing for me. Like, I garner a lot of inspiration because it's easy to go to the gym, or it's easy to like have like live with people who eat really healthy and be like, find it like, I don't know, be trapped in a place of like envy or jealousy. But like that energy, that same energy that you use feeling envious or jealous, you could use towards being inspired. So like, which avenue are you going to go?
Well, yeah, I think it's the whether or not you are operating out of a place of shame or whether you're operating out of a place of like inspiration.
Yeah, totally.
And so if
of like creativity.
Yeah, if you decide like, hey, I'm going to like you said, use that brain power to go, okay, well, I'm jealous, I can't do that. Like, okay, then at that point, like, let's sit down and figure out why you can't do that and what's one step towards that.
Yeah, totally.
Because like at this state, I don't want to track my macros. You're tracking your macros. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I would rather just like mentally, like essentially mentally track my macros in the way of like just making sure I'm hitting protein and then see how that affects like my diet.
Totally.
But for me, the biggest thing is just like trying to get some meal preps done so that way it makes eating throughout the day easier and does not look like what I had for breakfast today, which was a row of like the 4 pieces of fruit and nut bar. And I said, well, that's breakfast because I got to run to work. So like to be able to have some easy options there.
Totally.
And like what you were saying where it can become inspiration and it doesn't have to feel like pressure in our house, like especially in periods like this when it's stuff that we're all working on. And to be clear, we're always working on like something, whether it's like we're working on shame resilience, we're working on dismantling like the patriarchy within ourselves. So we're always like,
we're working on being nicer to ourselves.
Yeah, actively calling ourselves and each other out. So if like I say something mean to myself in a non-joking way, because sometimes jokes just be jokes and they not be that serious. But if I say something mean to myself, you'll be like, hey, don't talk to my friend that way. Or like, hey, that wasn't nice.
Yeah.
And like Caboose earlier is like, you know, whenever we're having like drinks, not alcohol, but just actual beverages, we're like, hey, this is my protein for the day. Like we're saying it out loud. So it builds accountability with ourselves, but it also keeps everyone else in the same place of like, oh, thanks for reminding me. I need to do that. So it helps share that mental load of putting in new systems and building new habits. And I think that's the like beauty of doing it with the people around you. And like I said earlier, it doesn't have to be the same goals. It can be that like Caboose's goal is protein shakes. Yours can be tracking macros.
Mm-hmm.
But by you talking about tracking macros to him, that can then inspire him to do like what he's going to achieve.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that's something that I run into with people a lot. That's the reason I bring this up is because people are like, well, the people in my household don't have the same goals. And no, you're wrong. That's hard. We've all been through different stages where we've all had different stuff going on in our lives that our goals have not run parallel.
Totally.
And it's hard, but at least having people that are goal oriented around you can help you stay in a good place with yours and can allow you to provide the support for them and for them to provide the support for you.
Yeah. It's also that idea of like, okay, so even if our goals aren't the same, then like I would hope at least that someone would take the opportunity to be like, okay, but then what are my goals? Okay, I'll focus more on this then. You know, like it's you can very easily just like keep using that kinetic energy to inspire each other. And I think that's why like a lot of people, it's really popular to have a gym buddy. And that's mostly because like when you're lacking in motivation, the other person can show up with 80%.
Yeah.
You know, and be like, hey, that's okay. But we got this together.
They're
right?
also just the reason why you have to go to the gym.
Totally.
So like this morning, Caboose and I were in the middle of like a really important discussion. And if Callie hadn't joined the gym, I would have just hopped on my phone, canceled my reservation and stayed there and talked to him. And then it's been a really rainy, shitty day. So the likelihood of me going to the gym today would have been pretty slim to none.
Especially, yeah, because I think when we first went outside, that was the first time we realized that it was rainy. We were both like, oh.
Yeah.
And it sounded like that was the same for a lot of the members, too.
Yeah. Like a lot of people, and that's the thing, too, is that like a lot of people kind of came late because it was not the best weather. So and everyone's kind of feeling sluggish in the beginning, but then you're all there together. So it helps like to have that gym buddy and to have someone else who's going through this with you.
Totally.
So,
yeah. Again, how do you make your habits easier? You're at that third week. I mean, you guys are when you're listening to this. How are you? I would love to hear how our listeners are going to make their habits or their like Misogi's or whatever thing that you're working on. How are you going to make it easier on yourself to like make it a more consistent thing? Because the easier and the more appealing it is, I learned this from James Clear, Atomic Habits, especially with the more appealing it is, then the more likely you're able to do it. I have been able to eat breakfast more consistently in the past week, especially like just knowing that I have to go to the gym because I know I'll be in a fucking horrific mood after the gym if I'm like if I don't have something in my stomach, because it's already pretty close after the gym that I get hungry, but like if I get hangry, I just like can't think. So like consistently I've been able to eat because I have the habit of going to the gym now, but also I was able to meal prep just like chicken sausages, super easy to prep 6 at once and then have them for the rest of the week. And it was the easiest breakfast ever.
Just you want to explain to people, what you did, so that way when they say chicken sausages, like they know what that looks like.
Yeah, totally. So you take your chicken sausages, you first of all scan it. If you're tracking your macros, then just like make a note of like how much proteins in each sausage, how much fat, how many carbs. I literally just boil them at first in a saucepan, a little bit of water. And then I sear them, so that way they've got like a nice looking outside. Otherwise, they look really pale, really scary. That's okay. That's fine. I don't judge a sausage. But
I do.
For the past week, I've just been heating up a chicken sausage in the microwave and then cutting up a whole bell pepper and just eating that for breakfast.
Yeah.
And guess what? It works. I'm full. I'm happy. It's also a light enough like breakfast. I don't know why I'm saying that in air quotes. Anything can be breakfast. It's a light enough breakfast that I don't feel super bloated or heavy to like move well at the gym. And it's enough to buy me at least an hour before having to eat again after I come back from the gym. Because I'm like, okay, cool. Like I'm a little hungry, but I'm not to the level of like, I'm going to faint if I don't eat. Because I mean, to be fair, like at CrossFit, I'm doing like bigger, harder workouts than I was if I were just working out by myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I do. To refine the procedure, what I would love to do is to actually like set aside, just cut up bell pepper. So that's another step. I just grab chunks of already pre-cut bell peppers for my next breakfast and then heat up my sausage and that's fine. Easy.
Yep. And this is where taking personal like stock of what works for you, because like I don't eat breakfast. Like I just am not a person that's hungry in the morning.
Totally.
And I very much believe that you have to listen to your own body. So if you're like, hey, dude, breakfast isn't like a thing for me. Now, I am fortunate enough partly because of like the way that my brain and my body works, my brain is not very attuned with what my body needs. So and before you're like, maybe that's why you don't like breakfast. I've tried eating breakfast before the gym and I don't feel good. So that part I do know.
Now you have confirmation that it's not the correct thing to do.
And so working and being like, hey, what works for me? Like a cup of coffee is like what I need before the gym. And usually like the first part of the workout, like I will finish my cup of coffee. Sorry to everyone around me at the gym because I have coffee breath. But like a system for me is that I pop a piece of gum in at the beginning of a workout. Like that little burst of like flavor and sugar does a lot to like get me energized through the first like couple rounds. But I know that for me, like
Guinness is drinking water in the background, guys. If you can hear it, sorry.
I don't know they can. I think it's too far. But if you can, it's cute. Hydration is key. But again, that's kind of like what I need to make sure that I drink enough water before I go to the gym to feel good. Otherwise, I'll get lightheaded at the gym.
Yeah. It's a recipe for like disaster. You're like, oh no.
Yeah.
And then if you drink too much water right before your workout, then you got a belly full of water. It feels like you're a water jug.
See, and that part doesn't bother me either.
Oh, that part is hard for me.
Like if I can eat a like full pizza and do 100 burpees and be totally fine.
That's
so
nuts.
I can eat a massive amount of food and then go to the gym, but I can't eat a big breakfast and feel good for the rest of the day. And I've tried with like nutritionally dense foods, I've tried with light foods, and my body just she does not want to be fed in the morning.
Yeah, she's like,
usually
that's okay, Deepa. I don't
1 or
need
2 o'clock in the afternoon is when my body is like, hey, I would like food now. And so figuring out what works for you and also letting other people have what works for them. Because that's probably one of my biggest things, like when we were talking about that, is that someone's going to hear this and be like, oh no, I started the gym. I should eat before I go to the gym.
Oh yeah.
You have to do what works for you.
Diva, test it out. Because honestly, it's so different for everyone. There is and I think that's the problem with social media as well. There's a lot of like fitness influencers who do the like day in the life with me. Just because it's like, at first, I think it was a really fun thing. But then it like slowly and subliminally programmed people into thinking that like, okay, I have to do this. Otherwise, I won't be successful. And that's not true.
Or I won't look like that if I don't do that. And again, we can do the same exact workout and our bodies are going to burn different calories, different amounts. They are going to respond differently.
I'm going to
everyone's
feel
body
it
is their body
than you.
Yeah.
Like it's so different, you know? And so, the goal is to make sure that like at the end of the day, whatever habit you're going for is connecting yourself to you. And so if it feels wrong eating breakfast before going to the gym, don't do it. Yeah. And if it also like, I don't know if you've ever had this happen before, but I've had it happen where I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to do this habit before this habit. And the first one became such a block that I ended up not doing either of them at all.
Yes, that's what happens with the like washing my face and brushing my teeth at night is that I would rather just I have a toothbrush that lives in the shower. I have toothpaste that lives in the shower. And then my face wash lives in the shower. And I get it. There's someone out there yelling at me like, do not wash your face in the shower. The hot water is not good for your skin. But that's where you have to say, hey, what works for me?
Yeah,
because getting my face wet is already a like
sensory nightmare.
I tried the like bands that go around your wrist so that way it doesn't get on your wrist. But like for me, even just hand washing. So like the fact that I wash my hands after I use the restroom is something that even now at the age of 39, I am very proud of because having wet or dirty hands is a sensory nightmare for me. I don't like the process at all. A lot of soaps do not smell good. You bought a pear soap for our bathroom. Caboose washed his hands the other day and walked in our bedroom. And I was like, oh my God, what did you just do? What is that smell? That is wretched. And he was like, I just washed my hands. And then I had to then be like, oh, it is that pear soap. So for me, I have to like remind myself like what it is. Otherwise I'm like, what is that godforsaken thing?
Big smells.
Yeah, it's a big smell. So I have had to learn that whether or not some fucking beauty influencer is like, don't ever let hot water touch your face ever. If the only way I'm going to wash my face at night and wash all the makeup off and then do the skincare that I need to do, like to be able to like maintain my perimenopausal skin is by washing my face and brushing my teeth in the shower, that's what that looks like.
So be it.
Like whatever it is, that's what it looks like. And so building those habits that work for you, maybe they're not perfect for other people, But if it gets what you need to achieve done, which, you need to wash your face.
Yep.
And you need to brush your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And at least then I feel rewarded when I take like a hot shower at night because it helps my body like slow down and go to sleep. And I have like literally a camping light inside of our shower. So that way it's a really low light and like lets my body know that it's like nighttime.
Totally.
I don't use the overhead light. I try to make it as like calming as possible. And then in the morning, if I need to like, if I need to be freshened up, I will, again, every single time I take a shower, I wash my face and brush my teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps me with that. And then if I want to just like use a washcloth on my face in the morning, I can.
Yeah.
But I think like working around those systems and not believing some rando on the internet that's like, this is the worst thing ever. If hot water touching my skin is the worst thing, then like...
Don't let it prohibit that.
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, it's better to get like one habit done than it is to get none at all. Or like... Even if you're not doing it right in air quotes, then like at least you still did it in a way that feels better for you.
Yeah.
And if by any point in time you decide to change your mind, that's also fine. But like I think the problem is like a lot of people are getting stuck in the rigidity of habits and not allowing themselves to realize that like no, it's supposed to still be tailored to benefit you, and that's how you make those last.
That's actually a perfect segue because I wanted to talk about like how the reason that people start giving up around this point is because you went in too hard. So instead, if you're like, man, I've missed out on like several days of like this habit, or like I did it for like the first week of January and then it just fell off, is asking yourself like why it fell off. Like what happened to you for you to not be able to, like how was it not easy? How was it something that like didn't align with what you currently have, and what steps you can make to make it easier so that way you're able to get back at it and say, okay, this is the thing that I need to do. Like this is what's going to allow me to be able to come back to it. If it means that like I said I would go on a 10-minute walk every day and 10 minutes just seems like it's too hard, then it just means I need to leave the house or I need to walk in place in front of my couch for a minute. Then just signing yourself up to be like, I'm going to do it for a minute. I'm going to do 10 air squats. I'm going to do whatever it is. So like what Callie said earlier, I'm pointing at her like she's still here. It's imaginary her. If it's, hey, I need to like eat fruit every day and it's just one grape, that's still moving you in the direction of achieving your goals. So I think like really just setting aside why a habit isn't sticking and what can I do to make it easier, and just restarting it in an easier way can really help like make you feel accomplished, and letting go of that like, oh, well, I have to, again, I have to walk 10 minutes every day. That's not always possible. The other biggest thing for me is the like, just because you missed one day is fine. If you miss 2 days, it's not. So really setting in with the like not missing multiple days in a row.
It's a slippery slope, right? So even if like you do on the second, let's say you missed the first day, and on the second day you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do it even more than I didn't want to do it yesterday. At least do half of the thing. Like, because then again, it builds that resiliency of like, fuck, I don't want to do it. But like, at least, again, half of a habit is still better than not doing it at all.
Yes.
So like do the timer thing where it's just like, okay, I'm going to give myself 10 minutes. And the second this timer comes off, I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and then get up.
Yep.
Anything. Don't let the perfection like hold you back from it. Because again, that rigidity is what's going to cause you to break. Yep. Everything in your life needs to be some level of flexible.
If you're watching on YouTube, you just watched that fly attack my head.
Did he attack you?
Yes, he landed right on my palm.
Diva, no.
If you know how to get rid of flies, please tell us. Our house is clean. We had a, what is he called? A bug guy.
Yeah, the
exterminator. Yeah, we had an exterminator out
like
here.
Investigator.
Yeah, the bug investigator out here, and he commented on how clean our house is. Our house is clean.
Yep.
We still have flies. I can't figure it out. I don't know what's going on. I've tried bug spray. The Bug Off is like the biggest brand that like everyone keeps telling us here, and allegedly you spray it on surfaces, they land on it, and it kills them. And it does not kill them. And this is, again, one of those random things that I miss about America. Because in America, you're allowed to put cancer-causing chemicals and stuff, which I understand is bad. But in the instant gratification of it
Getting rid of
actually
these
kills
flies.
these bugs,
Yeah.
it's pretty nice.
Yeah, totally.
Yes.
Oh man. Anything else about
yeah,
habits?
I wanted to ask you because
Yes.
you already achieved your first Misogi.
Yes.
2 weeks, literally on January 14th on my birthday.
I'm so impatient. I'm like, well, I could just do it now.
I literally can't. Mine is like, it's something that we are signed up
Yes.
for later this year. So I cannot.
Mhm.
But
That's fair.
again, halfway through this year.
If you were to do it, I bet you would have also expedited, and then we would have been like, "This is so fun," and then we're like, "Oh,
yeah.
nice," because I think that's a beauty. I didn't realize that was something about myself. Is that like when I set a goal, I'm like, "Well, why bother waiting?
100%.
I could just do it now."
It's something that like both of us, I very much enjoy that both of us are like super impatient. So we're like, okay, but like we could do that then, or we could do it now.
Yeah. And again, that line changed my life forever. Like if you're waiting to be confident enough to do something different, that confidence is gained after experience, not the other way around.
100%.
You cannot shortcut that. You will never be confident enough to go and do the thing. Just do it.
Well, confidence is built through experience. And I think people forget that it's like, oh, well, people that get older become more confident. It's like, yeah, just because there's been more life experience. Like that's partly why I love life as I get older.
Yeah.
Is that like now with the injury that I have on my wrist, which no, I'm not wearing my brace, but I'm doing my best to not fucking
bend it.
Like bend it or do anything. Yeah, just perma Barbie hand. But in my like 20s, I would have been like really like, oh my God, I just started feeling really comfortable on the rig. And I'm starting to like get to a place where I'm able to do like chest to bar, and I can feel where my body like is in a place where it wants to start doing muscle ups. And that's like a huge thing. And now I've been struck down, and it would have been this thing where I'm like, oh my God, I'm never going to get there. And instead my brain, because now I have the experience of like prior injuries and prior setbacks, and understanding that like in the moment, something can seem like it's like, holy shit. And don't get me wrong, some things are just devastating. So I'm not saying that like, you know, like again, the loss of waffles will always be devastating to me. And like there are things that just happen that are fucked up and sad.
Totally.
But I've been through enough stuff that in the moment, like when we thought there was a possibility that we would have to lose Callie in the States, that I then got through all that. You got through that. We got through it together. We got through it with our clients. And it just taught me that resiliency, but you only get it through experience. You get it through being like, hey, dude,
totally.
I've already overcome these. So like, again, I've overcome like other injuries. So I will overcome this, but how do I not just like sit in a place of like overcoming? How do I optimize this? Like, okay, I'm going to work on my left side and I'm going to work on evening out. And like, I'm going to work on like getting stronger, like core and legs in this time that I cannot use my right side. And it allows you to not just take it as like, hey, these like things are setbacks, but they're like detours to other areas in which you can still like work on. So that way, when I am able to get back on a rig in like 4 or 5 weeks, then I'm like, hey, I didn't just like have 4 or 5 weeks where I achieved nothing and like where I don't feel like I've like moved the needle forward for myself at all. But instead it's like, all right, cool, I'm doing stuff. But that only happens through experience.
Totally.
And so if you don't do the things, you're never going to gain the confidence. If you don't have those conversations, which I know everyone loves to call them hard conversations, but if you don't have like difficult conversations, they're never going to get easier.
Yeah, totally. If you just avoid the thing, then it's never going to feel easier. You're never going to feel more connected. You're never going to like, again, achieve like the level of dreams, like whether that be being closer with your friends or whether that be like being more physically fit. Like you have to be uncomfortable. That's literally just part of it. Going to the gym, now that I'm seeing all these fitness influencers on my page again, I'm like, man, you guys make it look so easy. And that's like part of the you're selling kind of a lie, you know? I'm like, I didn't remember how hard it was until I was like, oh man, I'm like in there doing it. And I'm like, oh.
But I don't think that they are intentionally making it look easy. I think it's partly why I record you is because inside of your brain, you're like, oh my God, it's awful. And then I show you a video and I'm like, looked easy to me. I don't understand.
That's
like,
true.
I
That's
do
true.
understand, but because again, like, I know that of like lifting and being like, that was so hard. And you watch a video and you're like, no one from the outside does that look hard.
Yeah, that's fair. That's happened to me multiple times where I was like, man, I thought I was moving a lot slower than that. Like, I was panicking during that workout because I thought that, like, oh, man, like, my partner, you're not going to be able to, like, move the way that you want to because I'm taking fucking decades, or, like, oh, geez.
Which is never the case. You always want you want to be partnered up with a slower partner. That's where you want to be in the fitness world. So that way you get bigger breaks. The person you don't want to be paired with is someone who's faster than you, because then you get shorter breaks, and that sucks. That's not fun.
It's hard.
That's a whole different type of like mental stimulation, is to be like, oh my God, why are you back already? Now I have to go.
That's me.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I gotta go again? I, like, literally just put the barbell down.
Yeah, that's where I'm like, no, dude, I'm appreciative when you're like, I'm moving. You feel like you're moving slow because you're also not moving slow. So I think, like, I understand that some of them do, like, some of them absolutely 100%. I agree with you that they, like, intentionally make it look easier than it is, where they're like, oh my God, this lifestyle is so easy. But also part of that is going to be because, like, if this is your entire career, it is going to be easier. You've already figured out how to optimize all these things. If you have, 5 kids and you've already figured out the systems of, like, you've figured out all of those systems of what you need to do, by the time you get to that 5th kid, you have the confidence of raising 4 others that you are not nearly as stressed out as you were the first time.
Yeah, you could put a baby in, like, a fucking car seat easy.
Yeah.
Like, at that point, it becomes muscle memory. It's that, like, again, experience. And that confidence comes with experience.
So I think, like, understanding that you just have to put in the time, and then also actively working on trying to refine it. That also helps with that, like, rut. So if you're like, you know what, guys, this hasn't applied to me because I actually feel like I'm, like, holding on to my, like, to my goals, and I've done all the things and I haven't fallen off, but you are feeling that, like, slight, like, ooh, the, like, we'll use fitness because it's an easy thing to, like, say, like, fitness and nutrition, but like, oh, I'm not seeing the benefits yet. I haven't lost as much as I wanted to, or, like, I'm not feeling as good as I wanted to by now. Like, I thought that I'd have big bulging biceps if you're me, and that's your goal.
I went to the gym twice, and why aren't my biceps fucking massive?
I think about that with the fact that I can't use my right arm right now, that I'm like, oh my God, my arms are going to get so much smaller than they currently are. This is terrifying. So today I was trying to figure out with bands, like, how to, like, do stuff without using my wrist when my brace is on, to be like, how do I keep my, like, arms, like, their size? Since I don't think I can probably increase size right now, which is devastating, because that goes along with that goal I have later this year. But I like that people are going to be guessing, to be like, wait, what is it? Or at least if you're like me, I would be guessing, be like, But yeah, I think, like, also just working on refining. So when it starts to get boring, when it starts to feel repetitive, then that's a good time for you to get that new burst of, like, excitement around it, is to be like, what here could I improve? How could I make this, like, a better system for me? How do I improve what's working? That for me helps me out when I get in these ruts where I'm like, okay, so I'm eating healthy and, like, my body looks good, so I'm, like, satisfied with that. But, like, now I'm kind of bored. Like, the food's getting boring, and, like, I'm just kind of over it, where I'm like, okay, so I get that every Sunday we meal prep, and okay. And if you're like us and you have ADHD, that can get really boring. So that's where, like, going in and saying, okay, so I'm going to meal prep something new, or I'm going to figure out, like, how to make this even easier.
Totally.
Like, I'm going to figure out how I, like, race myself in the fucking grocery store. Like,
how
do I get it faster? How do I, like, save more on groceries? Like,
totally.
Turning into that competition with yourself or with your friends can really help.
I think too, like, I used to be in this, like, pretty big rut of, like, and don't get me wrong, I still, like, battle with it, but the worthiness aspect of, like, oh, I'm worthy of a clean room, or oh, I'm worthy of a bed that's made, or I'm worthy to meal prep, I'm worthy to, like, eat. That's, like, a huge block for me. And it's, like, partly childhood, partly, like, I'm sure there's, like, some, like, traumatic, like, racism in there somewhere. but it's this idea that like I cannot serve myself at the cost of like the greater good or whatever the fuck it could be. If you're struggling with that too, well, first of all, congrats on being able to identify it. I think that's really hard. Second of all, if you are able to like sit down and really ask yourself, am I not doing these things because I don't think I deserve it?
Yeah.
Like, take the time, have a hard conversation with yourself. I promise you'll be okay. And if that's the case, like, what's the solution after that? And I found that, like, my solution, and I've talked about it briefly, is, like, if I can't do this for, like, adult me, which is, like, silly, but I'm going to do it for baby me that's, like, still living in this body. So, like, I'd be really, again, pissed if, like, I sent off baby Callie, like 5-year-old Callie, to someone's house for the whole day and all they fed her was potato chips. I'd be fucking livid.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
And then the more you advocate, the more you're like, okay, I'll do this for this, my inner child, the easier it becomes. Because it's like, I don't want that for her, you know? So that could help. If you have that hard conversation, let me know how it goes. If there's anyone who feels the same way, please let us know. We'd love to hear it. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. One last thing.
Yes. Do you have one more thing?
I need you to tell us what your new Misogi is.
Oh, my new Misogi.
Yeah, because you don't get to accomplish it and then not pick up another one.
Right? Like, that's kind of, you're giving yourself a freebie at that point.
Yeah.
My new Misogi would be to do an art show. I would love to be able to do full-on art show, have, like, different things, but also have different artists there, too. I think that would be super fun.
To, like, host and create an art show.
Yeah.
Not just your artwork, but other people's as well.
I think max, like, I would prefer to have, like, for me, 5 pieces, and then everyone else submit, like, 1 or 2.
Okay.
Depending on what they're comfortable with. But so that way it's, like, more, there's a lot more body, and then you can kind of tell, like, okay, so, like, Callista put it on, or whatever the fuck, you know, like, this is, like, the inspiration to it. But to have, like, people giving other artists the option of submitting to if they'd like.
Nice.
That's what I would like. So that's my new Misogi. It may or may not happen. It probably will.
Well, it's supposed to happen. That's the goal. We're working towards that now.
Totally. Even if it's just an art show in, like, I don't know, our backyard, I would be really happy. Like...
Like a one-night art show?
Yeah, just a one-night art show, or just, I don't know. I have to look up venues and see what's possible. Like, yeah. But I think that'd be really fun, and that would be, like, a really big milestone in my career as well. So, yeah, an art show would be cool.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thanks.
That's amazing.
It'd be super fun.
Yeah.
What about you? Do you have another Misogi, or are you waiting until your Misogi for this year?
I'm going to wait until the Misogi is done, because this Misogi will open... the avenue to other Misogis that I believe can still be achieved within this year, like once that's done. So, the mysterious Misogi. Ooh. Okay, so on that note, what is your win for the week?
Oh, joining CrossFit again. Yeah, going back to CrossFit and feeling really good. I feel awesome. I feel like, man, I feel like I woke up from a coma almost. I'm like, man, where did all the time go, you know? Like,
that's what you have to remind yourselves, is that there's a fly on my face on the monitor. He's crawling across. It's giving a Beetlejuice moment.
He's literally, like, mocking you. What a cunt.
It's okay. Maybe I offended him. Maybe I killed one of his, like, relatives.
Like, walking all over you. Just you, too.
I mean, we know I kill the most flies around here.
That's true. That is true.
Fuck, I forgot what I was saying. I got distracted by this fly.
There he is. Oh, there.
It's just an hour of us doing fly commentary.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh,
proud.
So this is something to remember. Is when you said, like, oh, I don't know where that time went. Like it.
Oh,
you know,
right. Yeah.
The time will pass anyway. So you may as well do the things that are going to help you achieve your, like, overall long-term happiness. It's really easy to give into that, like, daily happiness, but making sure that we're not trading our future selves and that happiness for this, like, instant gratification. Like, it's really easy to just be like, hey, I'm gonna go and grab, like, fast food because that makes me happy right now. But just taking and considering the fact that, like, is that going to go against, like, your future self? If you're like, hey, I worry about, like, my long-term health, or, like, I just want to make sure that I'm fueling my body with good stuff because I would like to have it for as long as possible, in the best possible shape, then making sure that we're not doing that because the time's going to pass no matter what.
Totally.
So that's why we are big believers in just start today.
Yeah.
Just start today because...
Do it scared!
Yeah. If you don't, it's going to be a year from now and you've either spent a year from now working on like making yourself happier and more fulfilled and feeling better, or you're going to wake up a year from now and not have achieved anything that it makes you happy. I don't mean achievement like for other people. I mean like what it is for you. Because like for me, part of like achieving in our life here in New Zealand has been slowing down and like spending a lot more time with the dogs. Like they're older now. Like we don't know how much longer we have them, but really like taking the time that like on days where like Bailey's really needy is to arrange my day so I can be there with her and like spending time cuddling with her and just making sure that like this time that's going to pass no matter what is time that I want to look back on and be like, I know that I spent the most time with her that I could.
Totally.
So that fly did just cross your face, and now he's
on
just
yours.
circling mine.
He's literally mocking you. He's, oh my God.
I'm going the wrong way. There you go. He's there.
There he is.
There. He's just on the edge. Okay, so I am proud of myself for accepting assistance with my hand.
Yay.
For like letting you guys like help me open stuff. And there's literally 2 flies in here, but we're acting like we're getting swarmed by like a million. But yeah, so accepting help has been.
Accepting help.
Yeah.
Is that what you're proud of? Or sorry, win for the week. Yeah.
Yes.
Accepting help.
Yes.
What am I proud of today? I am proud of, I'm holding myself fucking accountable. I'm going to make a protein pizza and I'm going to the supermarket and grabbing stuff for protein pizza and for the future 4 days.
Nice.
So that way I am like ready, locked and loaded. Nutrition's easy, whatever. So I'm holding myself accountable. That's what I'm proud of for today is going to the grocery store and making protein pizza.
Good, because I want to steal supplies so I too can have protein pizza.
It's easier when everything's out, you know?
It is, yeah. It's easier when everything's there. Plus, I haven't had protein pizza since we were in the States.
I know,
and
right?
It's delicious. Okay, and what am I proud of for today? Can I tell them what we did at the shop?
Yeah, totally.
You guys, this will be out very soon, but a client of ours made us Barbie dolls. And I cannot tell you how excited I am about this because since I was little, teeny tiny, I like remember seeing a Barbie doll of a celebrity. The first one I really remember, so I was teeny tiny, but I was probably around 8, was the Spice Girls had Barbie dolls. And I was like, oh my God, this is the coolest thing. Like I remember the Posh Spice and the Scary Spice because that's what my friend had. I did not own them. They were too expensive. Although I did acquire a Scary Spice later on at a Salvation Army. And I was very excited to have that. But
that's lit. Yeah,
it was amazing. She didn't have all of her clothes. She was missing one shoe. But she kept that one shoe on.
Like, I love that you kept it on.
Hell yeah, dude. Because when you buy secondhand Barbies, you never have shoes. So that's my obsession with Barbie shoes is because like as a kid, my Barbies could never have shoes because I only got like a handful of fucking brand new Barbies.
Totally.
And a lot of times I'd get the like for Christmas and stuff, I'd get like one Barbie, but it would be like the off-brand Barbie. And then like she didn't have shoes. She had flat feet. That's not as appealing. I liked that like crazy heel Barbie foot.
Love a crazy heel.
But yes, so I remember being like, wow, like one day I want someone to make a Barbie of me. I don't want to pay someone. I don't want to purchase it. I don't want to like have to like, you know, be like, hey, let me contract you. Like I wanted somebody to like in my childhood brain that was one day one person will love me enough to make me a Barbie doll. And we are fortunate enough to have clients that are so great that and like we have phenomenal fans.
Yes.
And so we got Barbie dolls in the mail and they look like us. And this has now given us an opportunity to do something that I've wanted to do. Again, something else since I was little because I love claymation. But the idea of actually molding clay is not my idea of a good time. Y'all know this. You've heard my breakdown before. But it allows us to go into the avenue of stop motion. And so Callie and I are doing, and it's just tiny, just a little reel.
Please don't expect anything big. We're still learning. We're getting back into stop motion. It's fun.
But that's why it's my win for the day, or what I'm proud of today, is that there's a lot of vulnerability when like you already have a career that like people are like, oh yeah, you're good at what you do, but you're doing something brand new, and there's a ton of vulnerability in that.
Totally.
But also there's like that vulnerability and that pride in the fact that I am honoring my inner child, and that you and I get to make something, mostly Callie, because she's like gonna actually put it all together. But like we get to make something that childhood me, like little baby Lou, would be like, oh my God, that's crazy exciting. And it just feels like play. And it's nice that we're able to use our business to be able to create in lots of different avenues. So the allowing like ourselves to create in different avenues is also like a win for the week.
It's a good win.
We're doing stop motion, y'all.
Woo! Pretty exciting. I think that's pretty exciting stuff.
And it's great. It's amazing. I'm very proud of it. It's not done, but I'm proud.
Yeah. That's a good, proud of moment for today.
Thank you.
Stop motion. The Barbies are awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see them.
They're so cool. So on that note, we will see you guys back next week. Please, there's a fly right here on my shoulder. He's my friend on the monitor.
Oh my God.
Callie was looking at my actual shoulder.
I know.
But yeah, we'll see you guys back next week.
Yep.
If you've done Misogi's, we would love to hear them. I want to hear what your goals are. I want to hear what you're working on. I want to hear what you need help on, because we're always here to help as well with advice or anything we can help with. But thank you guys so much. If you hung around this long, you are a mega true fan, and we love you. Thank you so much. We'll see you back next week. Bye!
Bye, bye, bye!
Bye-bye!
Artlist.io